It's got 2436 by 1125 resolution. That's over 2.7 million pixels. It has 458 pixels per inch. Now, this is the highest resolution and pixel density ever in an iPhone. I mean, it's remarkable how this larger display can be packed into a phone that fits so comfortably in our hands. The Super Retina display uses OLED technology. This is the first OLED display great enough to be in an iPhone. Traditional OLED displays have had great benefits, like high contrast and resolution, and no backlight means you can make them thinner. But they came with trade-offs in brightness and rich colors and color accuracy, at least compared to our Retina displays. But the Super Retina display overcomes all of these deficiencies and lives up to all that we expect from an iPhone display. In addition, the new Super Retina display supports HDR in both the Dolby Vision and HDR10 formats. It has an incredible 1,000,000 to 1 contrast ratio. It has the best color accuracy. It integrates our unique 3D touch technology right into the display. And like iPhone 8, it includes True Tone. Now, all this innovative Super Retina display technology is great, but it's the point of it that matters. And the point of it is to enable an entirely new experience that's more fluid, more intuitive. So let's start with the simplest thing. How do you wake up your iPhone 10? Well, certainly you can raise to wake just like before, but now you can also just tap on the screen and it wakes up. Now, with the display going edge to edge and top to bottom, there's no more home button. Now, this is an important part and a big step forward in the iPhone user experience. Something we use hundreds of times a day for so many tasks is an opportunity to rethink how iPhone should work and how we can make it better. So now, when you want to go to the home screen, you simply swipe up from the bottom and you go home. It's that simple. It's that easy. It's incredibly smooth. And once you do it for the first time, you'll know there's never been a better way. And it works the same way across the system. If you're running an app like Mail and you want to go home, what do? You simply swipe up from the bottom and you go home. It's that easy and that intuitive. It's so much nicer. Now, the same fluid gesture also works for multitasking. So if you're in an app and you want to multitask, you just swipe up from the bottom, you pause for a split second, and you're in multitasking. And then you can tap on any app and jump right to it. We also use the home button for Siri. So how are we going to do that now? Well, of course, you can just speak to your phone as before and say, "Hey, Siri." No, I didn't set anyone's phones off. Or you can now press the side button in, which has been made larger. And once you press it in, you can just talk to Siri. I know what you're thinking about. Well, what about unlocking? How do you unlock your phone with iPhone 10? I mean, this has been a very important part of the iPhone user experience from the very beginning. The first iPhone, we led the way with multi-touch, and we created Slide to Unlock. And this protected the iPhone from turning on when you didn't want it to, like in your pocket. Starting with iPhone 5S, we invented Touch ID. We made it fast and easy to protect all your data and unlock your phone with just your fingerprint. And Touch ID became the gold standard in consumer device biometric protection. But we know we can do something that's better. With iPhone 10, your iPhone is locked until you look at it and it recognizes you. Nothing has ever been simpler, more natural, and effortless. We call this Face ID. So Face ID is the future of how we will unlock our smartphones and protect our sensitive information. To make Face ID possible, it took some of the most advanced technology we have ever created. And much of it is packed right up here into this tiny little area at the top of the display. We call this the True Depth camera system. And it is made up of incredible state-of-the-art technology. There's an infrared camera, a flood illuminator, the front side camera, and a dot projector. And that's not all. There's also the proximity sensor, the ambient light sensor, the speaker and microphone, all packed into this True Depth camera system area. It is amazing. And here's how it works. Every time you glance at your iPhone 10, it detects your face with the flood illuminator, even in the dark. The IR camera takes an IR image. The dot projector projects out over 30,000 invisible IR dots. We use the IR image and the dot pattern, and we push them through neural networks to create a mathematical model of your face. And then we check that mathematical model against the one that we've stored that you set up earlier to see if it's a match and unlock your phone. Now, this all happens in real time. It all happens invisibly. You don't see these things going off. It's incredible. It just all works and all happens. To create Face ID, we worked with thousands of people around the world, and the team took over 1 billion images. And with that, they developed multiple neural networks to create Face ID. And to process the machine learning in Face ID's neural networks, we built Apple's first ever neural engine. Yeah, this is a big deal. In our pockets, in our phones, is an A11 Bionic chip with a built-in neural engine to process face recognition. Now, the neural engine is specialized hardware built for a specific set of machine learning algorithms. This is another example of the incredible collaboration between the hardware and software teams that's only possible at Apple. The neural engine is a state-of-the-art ultra-fast processing system. It uses our highest density computing ever. It's a dual-core design. It can perform over 600 billion operations per second, and it's used to the real-time processing of Face ID recognition. But for all of us, it's just super easy and fun to use. When you set up Face ID, you just follow the on-screen instructions, and it tells you how to move your head around in the camera so Face ID can recognize your face. And that's it. You do that once when you set it up. And Face ID learns your face. Even if you change your hairstyle, you decide to put on glasses, you're wearing a hat, so you do it up any way you do it, Face ID learns your face. It learns who you are. And it adapts to you as your face changes over time. Let's say you start to grow a beard. It works in day, it works at night. And the teams worked hard to make sure the Face ID can easily be spoofed by things like photographs. They've even gone and worked with professional mask makers and makeup artists in Hollywood to protect against these attempts to beat Face ID. These are actual masks used by the engineering team to train the neural networks to protect against them in Face ID. It's incredible. The teams worked hard to protect your face data. Yes. Your face data is protected with the secure enclave and the A11 Bionic chip. All the processing is done on iPhone 10 and not sent to a server. We require user attention to unlock. That means if your eyes are closed, you're looking away, it's not going to unlock. Now, how do we compare that to Touch ID? How secure is it? Well, there's no perfect system, not even biometric ones. But as we said earlier, Touch ID is the gold standard for consumer device biometric protection. And the data for Touch ID has been 1 in 50,000, meaning that the chance that a random person could use their fingerprint to unlock your iPhone has been about 1 in 50,000, and it's been great. So what are the similar statistics for Face ID? 1 in a million. The chance that a random person in the population could look at your iPhone 10 and unlock it with their face is about 1 in a million. Now, of course, the statistics are lower if that person shares a close genetic relationship with you. So, for example, if you happen to have an evil twin, you really need to protect your passcode with your sensitive data with a passcode. Hopefully you don't. Face ID also works with Apple Pay. So to pay for things, you just double tap the button on the side, you look at iPhone 10 to authenticate, and hold it near the payment terminal to pay. It's that easy, fast, intuitive, simple. Face ID also works with third-party apps. Third-party apps already support Touch ID, and they'll work with Face ID. So apps like Mint, 1Password, eTrade will all work with Face ID. So Face ID, it's face authentication for unlocking your iPhone and protecting your sensitive data. It uses the innovative TrueDepth camera system. It's trained with neural networks. It's easy to set up. It learns your face, and it adapts to your face over time. It's aware of your attention. It works with Apple Pay, and it works with third-party apps. This TrueDepth camera system is incredible technology, and it's going to enable so many great new user experiences. The first one, of course, is Face ID. But the team decided to create another great experience with it as well. This is a fun one. It has to do with emojis. Now, we use emojis to communicate with others and to express emotion, but of course you can't customize emojis. They only have a limited amount of expressiveness to them. So our team created something called Animoji. These are animated emojis. These are emojis that you control with your face. Animojis track more than 50 facial muscle movements. They've been meticulously animated to create amazing expressiveness. You can just watch this, can't you? The way you create and share Animoji are right from within Apple Messages.
You said a little late. Where are you?
You can pick from a dozen different animated emojis to share and express whatever you want to express to your family and friends. So iPhone X is packed with innovative technologies that enable new user experiences. I'm really excited to invite out Craig Federici to show you iPhone X and what it's like to use it for the very first time. Craig?
Hey. Hey, everybody. Wow. Well, I'm absolutely thrilled to be able to give all of you your first live look at iPhone X. This is a phone we've been dreaming about for a long time, but the reality of it in your hand, it's really something epic. So let's take a look. Here is iPhone X. Now, unlocking it is as easy as looking at it and swiping up. And, you know, let's try that again. Ho, ho, ho. Let's go to backup here and get right in. So here we are, and you see this expansive display. It's just a beautiful canvas for all of your content and your gestures. And I'm just going to go into the weather app here, and you can just see how apps look when they take advantage of the edge-to-edge display. Now, exiting an app couldn't be easier. You just swipe from the bottom, just like this, and throw the app right back on the home screen. Let me do that again. Just swipe right up. Let's take a look at the web. It just looks unbelievable, edge to edge on this display. And your photos, of course, are just gorgeous as well. Let's jump into this one. Just amazing. Now, video, of course, is unbelievable on the Super Retina display. It looks great in portrait and in landscape. And of course, this is HDR video. Just incredible looking. Now, Phil told you a little bit about multitasking on the device. Let me show you. I'm just going to jump into Maps. And if I want to move between my applications, I can just swipe up and stop, and my other apps all come in. I can get at them with a tap. Just lift. It's just that easy. And we have a great shortcut as well. You can actually move back between apps just by swiping along the bottom like this. It's really easy. Now, you may be wondering about Control Center, and worry not. Right where your status indicators are in the upper right-hand corner, you can just swipe down and get at Control Center from anywhere. It's that easy. Now let's take a look again at Face ID, because unlocking your phone is just amazingly intuitive. You just raise it, look at it, and swipe right up to get started. But now it's also incredibly fast, so I'm just going to do that again. Just raise it, look at it, swipe. I don't have to wait. And it's also really, really smart. So let's say I wake my phone and I'm not looking at it. It stays locked. But once I give it my attention, well, it unlocks and I can get right in. It's really cool. Now, Face ID is also great for Apple Pay. So if I'm at the register, I can just double-click on the side button, I'm authenticated, and I can get in just like that. Now, the true depth camera behind Face ID isn't just about authentication. In fact, we've extended ARKit with some incredible new face tracking capabilities that provide a whole new class of augmented reality experiences. Now, we've been working on one with Snapchat, and I'd like to show it to you now. So I'm going to launch in. You see it builds a mesh of my face, and now I can just select a mask. The tracking is just unreal. Let's check out this one. Now look at the detail over the eyes, the incredible metallic reflections, the quality of the tracking, it's just stunning. Now, of course, many of us like to communicate with emoji. And with Animoji, we can now breathe our own personality into our favorites. It's available as an app right inside of Messages, so I can just go right in here, and it immediately starts tracking me. So I can make whatever expression I want, like, and just pick that up and use it as a sticker, drop it on my message like that. We also let you manipulate these in full screen. You can audition your favorites, and there's some really great ones, like the kitty cat, so expressive and ferocious. It's a happy puppy. Check out the physics in the ears. The pig. We've got a chicken. And the unicorn, mythical creature, favorite of the startup. And yes. If you were by chance wondering what humanity would do when given access to the most advanced facial tracking technology available, you now have your answer. Now, these can be so much fun, you're going to want to share them. Unfortunately, we let you record messages. I'm going to record a message here for Tim. Hey, Tim, I'm not sure what the protocol is here, but I'd like to call dibs on the fox for my favorite emoji. Which one do you like? Hey, Tim, I'm not sure what the protocol is here, but I'd like to call dibs on the fox for my favorite emoji. Which one do you like? Now, you can send it with just a tap, and it appears as a looping video right inside the transcript. If we're really lucky for our grand finale, we might just get a response back from Tim. Oh, here it is. Let's take a look.
Take me to your leader. Wait a minute, Craig. I am your leader. Let's wrap this thing up.
So that is your first look at the new iPhone X and the amazing experience with the True Depth camera and Animoji. I think you're going to love it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Craig. Now let's talk about the amazing cameras in iPhone X. iPhone X has dual 12 megapixel sensors, dual cameras, both a faster sensors, wider sensors, just like in iPhone 8. There's new color filters, new deeper pixels. There's an f1.8 aperture on the wide-angle camera, and a faster f2.4 aperture on the telephoto. So that lets in 36% more light to the telephoto camera. But the big news on the camera on the iPhone X is that it has dual optical image stabilization. That means there's OIS on both the wide-angle and the telephoto lens. That's a lot of magnets moving around in a very small space, but it helps with compensating for handshake and to take better photos and videos in low light. There's also a better quad LED two-tone flash that has twice the uniformity of light on our subjects. So let's look at some photos taken from the backside camera on iPhone X. This is absolutely beautiful. Great dynamic range, detail, low noise. This is a beautiful photo. The textures are simply stunning. Now there's zero shutter lag, and that helps to freeze motion so we can get a photo like this. Look at that blue sky with low noise. It's absolutely to die for. The OIS delivers low light performance, so now you can get incredible low light images like this with the telephoto camera as well as the wide angle. And iPhone X is fantastic for the portrait mode feature that we all love. With iPhone X, you can get great portrait modes, especially in lower light. And iPhone X supports the brand new portrait lighting feature as well. That's, again, a photo taken right off of iPhone X, not retouched in any way, with a stage lighting effect dropping out the background. iPhone X is great for photos, it's amazing for 4K video, and like iPhone 8, it's tuned for AR applications. There's factory calibrated cameras, the new gyroscope, an accelerometer, the performance advantages of the A11 Bionic chips CPU, GPU, and ISP, and ARKit is tuned for iPhone X. Now the backside camera that we use so much is not the only camera, of course, on the iPhone. We have our front side camera as well, and people love to use those for taking selfie photographs. And now with iPhone X and its true depth camera, it really delivers a breakthrough in the photos you can take for selfies. Because now with selfies, you can take portrait mode photos as well. And it also supports portrait lighting, all through the front side true depth camera.